Well, hello, this is Shiva and episode 11 of Infraspace. Wow, time goes by when you're having fun, right? Anyway, I've did a lot of stuff offline and I did have kind of a huge problem with this game, most notably in the collection and distribution centers. It just didn't work out very well. What was happening is I got them working, but they weren't distributing enough materials. Suddenly, the amount of material for home appliances and for computers, it suddenly just went down to like a third of the distribution, even though the storages were all full and everything else. So I had actually added them in because I redid this entire section here. And unfortunately, my solution was very simple. I just deleted them, and now I'm having absolutely no problems with distribution uh, because I'm just not using them. I know that there was a big update today. This is supposedly being fixed, but I haven't tried it out yet. I noticed that if your supply is cut off for more than a minute, then you start losing population. To say that this game is absolutely brutal when it comes to things like that is not the word for it. In fact, it is way too brutal in my opinion. Because if I change a road, say right here, all of this area is completely cut off, and it takes a long time for those cars to get back there because of how big this map is. And I usually lose quite a bit of I lose quite a bit of population. At one time, I actually had about 1,000 jobs because of the. I actually had about a population of 1,000 because of the problems with the collection buildings and also with the distribution buildings. So I just deleted them. Most of my resident areas went down all the way to back to level 2. And I've let this run for a little while so that I can rebuild back up to my population. So anyway, you can see that I now have a massive reorganization. But first off, we'll talk about the science. Offline, I decided to get all my green science done. So I'm all pretty much done with the green science. I still have a little bit of blue science left to do, I think. Actually, all the blue science appears to be done. There's a couple I didn't do because, let's be honest, I don't need improved wind turbine blades for one thing. That doesn't really seem to be all that important considering that I have methane, but I've gotten everything else here. So what we'll do is we'll show you the buildings for those. I'm not going to build them on this episode. I'm going to set my priorities, set my build how I want them to be built. But as you can see, there's a group here. I got quite a lot done, actually. So in terms of the research, I did about 5 or 6 off camera. I'm pretty sure nobody really wants to see that. It's just, just get the research done and then worry about it later. So first off, as you can see, we've got the copper mine. We have the yellow science factory. And as you can see, it has motors. And there's the motor factory right there. We have organic waste. We also have a sensor factory in this little group here. So with the exception of the organic waste, I've got everything supplied over on from that particular side to fill those up. And over here, as you can see, we have the water distillery. And this does 5, but it also produces 2 distilled water, which is kind of interesting. Then the distilled water is needed for the industrial chemicals lab, plus chemicals and methane, which are methane's down there and the chemicals are over here. Then you have a nanotube and carbon, which is oxygen. And then and this will produce nanotubes. And then this, we'll take those nanotubes you added some microchips, which is not going to be fun. And then you have a neural processor. Now, I haven't decided where exactly on the map that I'm going to put it. I was kind of thinking around in this area for this group here. And for the other group, for the other area, I was actually going to move it up somewhere in this area here because with the way that I have this set up, I have access to all of my resources. Now, as you can see here, here's where I started rebuilt my home appliances and also my computer section. They now have their own section, and as you can see, I've got lots of room for expansion here. What I've done is I have done the separate sections. So this is this section here is completely cut off from this section here. And one of the things I noticed with not using distribution and resources, what will happen is the resources will end up getting shared, and some things get a lot more resources and while others get sort of starved for them. But I have realized that if you make the roads long enough, only it doesn't share like things like oil or the ores or anything else like that. It will actually just do the computers and the delivery truck. And if you've noticed, what I have also done here is I've made a huge superhighway all the way down here. So it's just going to go all the way down, and then it feeds right into my city. I still have the distribution center for my good meal. It seems to be working, but I really don't know. From what I understand, there was some pretty big bugs with this. I may not even bother adding more if I can help it. So we'll just leave it as such. Oh, this guy is going, well, residential building. He needs home appliances. Why is he being starved? I've got lots. He just suddenly decided to show up. Hang on, I just got to click all of that down. So, where are we here? Here's my home appliances. So I'm producing 150 home appliances. I'm only using 110, yet these guys are... See what I mean? The transportation system really kind of needs to be a little bit better than the way it is. And I really don't think trains are going to be all that much faster. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. So yeah, it kind of needs to take into account long maps where it takes a while for your trucks to deliver things. And with computers, as you can see, I'm doing okay there. I've got 80 right now that I'm producing. I'm only using about 55, so that's good. And then good food, I have 90 that I'm producing, and I'm doing about 73 right now. And with the exception of home robots, I can probably do all of these, upgrade my buildings again. So anyway, everything is doing great with the exception that the game seems to have a little snit fitter every once in a while. As you can see, my methane production is doing good. And now we're going to go into the other change. Because of all of the problems, I had to sort of remove my jobs. So I've sort of rebalanced this particular section so that it just produces just enough for my population. I have to really, the production overview is going to be your best friend. You have to check it at least once every 5-10 minutes to make sure that you don't have a problem with any of your production. If this line shows yellow, it means that you better add some more stuff immediately. If it says red, it means you're in trouble, and you better get some production like now to fill the needs. So if you use that, it works out really, really great, and hopefully I won't lose any more population now. So as you can see, all of the good food is great. The other thing is that I've started to upgrade all of my mines here. With green science, you get the larger mine. And the difference is, and there's a large sulfur mine. If you see, it now produces for the same group of, for 2 people, it now produces 2 sulfur instead of just 1. You still need 2. So that means that we can shorten the sulfur production and we can save some jobs there. And now that we have the ability to be able to process organic waste. You can actually convert this to methane, which is really nice. So what happens is the organic waste comes up here. It goes to the methane fermentation plant. So you have to do two researches for it. And I have some spare tanks to store any spare methane. And then there's a pipe that I have put in here. Let's show you. There we go. There it is, my little yellow pipe. And it's feeding the methane to two power plants there. I'm pretty sure I can probably add more. Now, the next one on my list here is going to be Tech. This one just came out. This is the home robot factory. And once I have a good supply of robots, my residences will go up to the next level. So let's see what we got here. Well, this is going to be tough. First off, this requires sensors, it requires a motor, and it requires a neuron processor. So in other words, it goes right down over here with the rest of my building. So I have a good idea of what I need to produce. Boy, this is such a long scroll, isn't it? Yeah, okay. I went way up too high. Come on, where are you? There we go. So you're going to go right here. Notice that it charged me for moving. That kind of sucks. So I'm going to need to do some motors here. So I'm just going to very, very quickly move this, very quickly just sort of set it up a little bit. There's my motor factory. There's one. I need the sensor. Okay, what's the sensor factory? Where is that bloody thing? Is that over here? Yeah, it gets a little up. There we go. There's a sensor factory. So actually, this should be moved over to where the oil is, I think. I'm just doing this right there. Yeah, and the neuron processor, which is right here. So I don't know how I'm going to do that, because that is going to be a tough one to do. Because I'm going to need nanotubes. I'm going to need microchips. So that's not great. But here's the nanotubes. Yeah, so as you can see, this is a pretty big chain here. Nanotubes. And I need a microchip. So what I'm doing is I'm sort of doing and block my buildings in a particular order. And as you can see, this is going to be very, very complicated because, yeah, it's going to be a lot of work. All right, so don't expect me to work this out today and then sand over there. And then for this guy here, so you see I'm sort of building everything here, industrial chemicals. There's my industrial chemicals right here. And I know I need a water distillery up here. I need a chemical factory. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to get everything all straightened out, sort of in very, very block form. What's this guy? This guy is neural processor. I'm starting to get a... Yeah, as you can see, the build order gets more and more complicated as things go on. So I'm just sort of organizing everything the way I want it. So we'll just do it this way. Oh, and I need carbon in here too as well. So I'm going to do the yellow science first, actually, because I think I'm going to need a couple of yellow science. I'm going to need a better oxygen processor for one thing, just so that I can do this chain. But as you can tell, and the chemicals. Yeah, chemicals, Paul. Not plastics, not stem cells. Where the hell are the chemicals? Electronics factory. Yeah, I'm just, you kind of get lost with all of this stuff. It's starting to get very, very complicated. Just yeah, I'm just starting to get a little bit lost here on where what I'm supposed to do. So yeah, okay. This carbon, and I need methane, and I need chemicals. Oh, there you are. So, and then we need to bring methane out. So you can see how the build order is going. It's getting a little complicated. In the meanwhile, let's see if there's anything else that needs to be done. I can actually start getting rid of some of this stuff, and I'm just clearing out all of my hydro. As you can tell, I've also offline. I'm starting to extend my power by going straight up here, and so really saves a lot of work with the power. As you can see, she's going all the way up. I'm trying to keep it as close to the same as possible. For instance, this one down here, you can see it's going all the way up, and it's all connected up. See? So yeah, I do things. As for what I'll be doing offline, one of the things that I realized with this particular map is it's sort of cut in half with the top portion and then the bottom. But there's these big mountains. There's a huge gully here. There's very, very little room to fit a roads there, and there's very little room to fit roads there because we have all of this section here. And this is I could try to sneak some stuff down, but as you can see, it's very, very rocky terrain. So I may have to take all of this. This is my concrete production. As you can tell, I'm not exactly running out of concrete. I have 2.3 million concrete right now. But what I may do is I may find a iron ore deposit that's sort of out of the way and rebuild my concrete factory over there, because I obviously don't need a heck of a lot going on. The problem is I'm sort of starting to run out of ore. I have this section here. I don't really want to use it, but I may have to. And this will be just to do a basic concrete. I might only do 12 factories for concrete. I don't really see myself needing anything beyond that now. I mean, 2.3 million pieces of concrete already. I very much doubt that I'm ever going to run out. And same with steel too as well. I've got 851. And if I start the game, you see that it's sort of good the way it is. So I may just do concrete and I may do steel with that one. And then that way I can save some space here. And as you can see, everything is doing good. I'm hoping that there's an upgrade for things like the chemicals lab and everything else, because it's a lot of chemicals labs that you need, and they take 4 people a shot. So that's the reason why I've cut back this a lot on this, and to try and cut back on some of the jobs. So. Well, so what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to continue to build up my population a little bit more. I would like at least 2,000 spare jobs, and I would prefer more. Once I get the robots, that's probably going to take another 750 to 1,000 jobs, so that And because don't forget that the more people here, the more home appliances and computers and good meals they need. So that means that you need more jobs. In the meanwhile, as you can see here, what I've decided to do is to prevent any problems in the future is just to expand ever so gradually. And I'm going to be building up here. I do about 12 at a time. I wait until they all... I keep an eye on this. I keep an eye on my production to see where I am. See, look, just by adding, as you can see, oh, this stupid thing does this all the time. You have to sort of click off the menu so you can actually see what's going on. But as you can see, with the good meals, I'm should be able to handle 12 more buildings with that, but I may expand that a little bit more. And then with the computers and with the home appliances, we should be pretty good here. Yeah, home appliances is good, computers is good, good food, and that's about it. But just so that everybody's happy, as you can see, more problems with my home with that. I am getting so annoyed with this game with how it manages stuff because it kind of sucks, to be honest. I may have to do another super highway somewhere so I can get some more resources down because that's getting absolutely ridiculous. Oh, here's a good candidate right here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to super highway it. No, I don't want that. And I want this two-way. So just upgrading everything so that hopefully some of those home appliances will come down this way. And that should hopefully help. Let's see what's happening. Yep, see, look, there's some home appliances going down that way. So because that's the easiest, fastest route. As much as I don't like the traffic management in this game sometimes, at least the things that you really want it to work does actually work. As you can see, these guys are just now starting to scoot around. But as I said before, there's really no excuse for this. Even if I had collection and distribution centers, I would still have the same problem. The speeds just don't seem to be fast enough. I've heard that super highways, for instance, which I will be upgrading, they're actually the fastest, but I really don't see... See, look at all my downgrades, as I said before. And I had this thing on pause for most of it. So yeah, this is getting to be very, very annoying thing about this game is that it just is that the actual transportation network, they're just not fast enough, especially on such huge, massive maps. In retrospect, my residential area should be a lot more central in the map, but with this particular custom map, where would you put it? I mean, there's lots of resources that taking up space over in here, and it doesn't really make, you got hills and everything else. There just isn't enough flat area for you to actually build things with. And with two big massive mountains here and then a third one here and then the gully on the side, there just isn't a lot of area. The only place really is in this area, but you've got these guys blocking you, and then you have the chemicals in here too as well. And it just doesn't seem to be enough of an area to build your city in, other than down in the corner. So in some ways, it's kind of a little bit of a flawed map. The other thing that I could do is you don't necessarily need to have all of your residential in one place. You could possibly split it. So you can put half of your residential here and then another half and then another area, say, where should we put it? Yeah, say in this area here. And then another one in here, little groups here. You don't want to put them over crude oil because we may actually need it. But this is, and then over here, As you can see, it's nothing but a big massive mountain there. And this you can't really build on. So yeah. So anyway, that has been a big problem, but I'll figure out something to do there. I may just actually put some of my residences over, but I'm still going to have a problem with deliveries, with the amount of speed for the delivery, because even though I've got a really nice superhighway here, that goes all the way down, it's just still not fast enough. So I'm going to close this video. I'm offline. I'm going to work out exactly how I need what I want to do with yellow science, where I'm going to put it, which is pretty obvious somewhere in this area. And then we'll do a basic layout for the robots. And so the next episode should be kind of interesting. We're finally moving forward. I took 2 steps backwards the last couple of days to go 1 step forward, or if you understand that expression, but things are looking a lot better. I've got a huge control over everything now. This game is really very micromanageable and managing. You really have to micromanage everything. You really have to pay attention to every little detail. Normally I would like games like that, but I'm kind of finding it, especially this very first game that I'm playing, it's a big learning experience in trying to get things set up the way you want to get them set up, as well as how the programmer designed this game. It's pretty obvious that this is how, when the developers did this game, this is how they like to play. And so the game is basically their game style, their gameplay, and you sort of have to adapt. But in the meanwhile, I believe I'm just going to stop rambling around and get to work. So in the meanwhile, I hope everybody had a great day. Mine was it was pretty good actually. So I hope everybody has a great day tomorrow. This is Shiva, and I'm going to sign off. So, well, we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.